Hi everyone, Therese here. Today we are speaking about band scores for IELTS. The definition of IELTS band scores range between 0 and 9. 0 for test takers who don't show up for the test. 1 to 3 band score are for students beginner level, elementary level. 4 to 5 intermediate, and then 6 above for advanced and proficient level. If you want more detail on what this means, you can look at the definitions here on the list. So for most visa requirements or entry into university, you're looking at band score 6.5 and above. So let's take a look at what it says for 6. Band score 6, the test taker has an effective command of the language despite some inaccuracies, inappropriate usage, and misunderstandings. They can use and understand fairly complex language, particularly in familiar situations. So that basically means that you are operational at band score 6 and above. Band score 6, you may be still making mistakes, but you can communicate in the language. So that's obviously necessary for life or work in an English-speaking country. And if you want greater mastery in English, you'll be aiming for 7 and above. The band scores for listening are different to the band scores for the other parts of the test. In listening, you have 40 questions, 1 mark for each correct answer. Your number of marks are converted to the 9-band scale. So for example, 16 marks out of 40, you get a band score 5. And you can see the other figures here, 23 for band score 6, 30 for band score 7, and 35 for band score 8. If we compare that to academic reading, you'll see that it's somewhat similar, 35 also for band score 8, but 15 for band score 5. And if we compare that yet again to general reading, it's quite different. 15 out of 40 marks will only get you a band score 4 in general reading. So each part is different. So depending on the band score you're looking for, check to see how many questions you need to answer correctly, or how many answers you can afford to have incorrect. So how do you calculate overall band score? Well, you're given a band score for each part of the test, and that's added together and divided by 4 for your average band score. So for example, if you receive a 6 in listening, 5.5 in reading, 6.5 in writing, 5.5 in speaking, we add all of that together, divide by 4, because there are 4 parts in the test, and you get an average of 5.87. That mark is rounded to the nearest whole or half band. So in this case, you'd be at a band score 6. The criteria that is used by IELTS examiners depends on the part of the test. In writing, they use 4 criteria to assess your level: task achievement, coherence cohesion, lexical resource, grammar range, and accuracy. Task achievement means your ability to answer the question fully and correctly. Coherence, it's all about your clarity and your ability to be logical. Lexical resource, your use of vocabulary, and of course, GRA, your use of structure and your range of structure. If we look more closely at writing task 1, we get more detail through the band descriptors. So for level 6 and above, you need to be providing a clear overview in writing task 1. A good structure, you need to have your introduction, your overview, main body paragraphs, and you need to be using appropriate vocabulary to describe the task. Of course, if it's a letter, if you're doing the general writing, then you must make sure that you follow the conventions of letter writing. And of course, don't forget grammar. You're using simple and more complex structures, using relative clauses, adverbial clauses, and using a range of tenses. Writing task 2 is the essay part of the exam. So if you look at the band descriptors, you can see that you must address all part of the task. You must, again, be coherent, using cohesive devices, and again, using a good range of language and being clear in your grammar. It's great to know what your objective is. If you have a goal and you know that you want to hit, for example, band score 7, read the band descriptors. They will guide you, help you to know exactly what the examiners are looking for. So that way you can aim to reach that band score. So in addition to the criteria that I spoke about for writing, the examiners also assess you on your use of punctuation, spelling, and vocabulary in context. So it's great to use good words, good language, but they have to be appropriate for the context, of course. And don't misspell. If you misspell, you lose marks. I know that's very tricky because American English is different to British English. Sometimes the words are spelt differently. But both are accepted. IELTS is a global exam, so American and British English are accepted, both of them. In the speaking test, the criteria is quite different. Their examiners are looking at fluency and coherence, your ability to improvise at length without hesitating constantly, looking for words, to be clear, to be understandable, not to mix up your words or mix in your native language, but to be clear in English, using vocabulary, grammar accurately, using different tenses, and pronouncing words clearly. In the band descriptors, again, for speaking, it's very clear. For band score 7 and above, you need to be able to improvise at length, to not hesitate so much, to use connectors, that you're able to say things in other ways. So that's it, everyone. Keep your eye on the band descriptors so that you know what you have to do to hit a specific band score. Are you looking for band score 6, 7, or even 8 or 9? Then you know what you have to do now to hit those levels. Good luck, and thanks for watching. Bye.